me, Andrew, and we would be getting into our conversation for the morning. But just before we do that, it's important that I inform you that on Facebook we are live. If you haven't joined our Facebook community, well, you might want to do that now. For those who already are following us on Facebook, thank you very much. You can do one more by ensuring that you join the live stream. And don't forget, very importantly, click on the share button and drop your comments as well. This morning, we would be looking at the situation in the APC from leadership of the party to, well, the participation of the party in the local government election, and even up to the situation with the lawmakers. You are aware of the court judgment that came out stating that, well, those lawmakers who had announced, who had videos circulating on social media saying that they are joining the APC are and did not decamp at any time. In fact, listen to Martin Amewule speaking, where he said that no time did they say that they were decamping or leaving the PDP. In fact, he went on to say that whatever it is that was being heard were things being perpetrated by the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara. Well, this morning, all of that conversations will be clarified with my guest, Chibike Ikenga, who is the Publicity Secretary of the Rivers APC Caretaker Committee. Sir, you're welcome. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Hello, sir. Good morning. Mr. Ikenga.
Yes, please. I can hear you. Good morning.
All right, good morning. You're welcome. Where do we start? Okay, let's start with what's right in front of us, and that would be the elections for the local government.
You're very faint, too. You're very faint.
Can you hear me better now?
Loud and clear, right now.
All right, thank you. So I was saying, let's start with what's right in front of us, and that would be October 5, which is the date RISIEC has set aside for local government election. And, well, is the APC worried or concerned about whether or not it could miss out on that election?
Thank you very much for having me once again. I think that we had canvassed very expansively about our non-participation in a supposed or proposed election, which we feel very strongly that the due process has not been followed and the proper things have not been put in place that would have enabled us, the APC in Rivers State, particularly as critical stakeholders, to participate in that so-called election. More so, it was on the basis of that, because we felt and we still do believe that the proper things have not been done by the Rivers State government and the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission. That's why we challenged the proposed election in the court. And you are aware that there's a court order, an interim court order restraining that election from taking place. Besides, we also considered that because the properly elected House of Assembly under Right Honorable Martins Amewule had not done any appropriations that would be for the purposes of the election. So these are some of the challenges that we feel should be properly handled before any election can be properly administered in Rivers State, and then our participation will, of course, be automatic when all these issues are addressed.
What then is the situation? Because, I mean, we are aware of the leadership tussle within your party, and we're all aware of the court judgment that reinstated Chief Emeka Beke as the chairman of the party. And on that basis, he has come out to say that, well, the Martin Amewule led House and the lawmakers with him, 27 of them who at the moment also had a court decision. Prior to that time, there's been questions about which political party they belong to. have said, well, he's going to also sanction them. But he, most importantly, before we move on to that, has said the APC will be part of the election. So how do we then, as Rivers people, put both together? On your part, saying the APC would not, cannot, because you're citing certain reasons. On the other hand, Chief Emeka Beke, with a court judgment in his favor, is speaking in the capacity of chairman, also saying that, well, the party is going to participate in the election. Where does that then leave Rivers people?
Okay, thank you. All Progressive Congress, APC as a party is not amorphous. All Progressive Congress, APC has national leadership, which cascades down to the wards and units for that matter. So Chief Emeka Beke, there is no doubt, was the elected chairman until the wranglings they had within the period leading to the 2023 elections led to his suspension by members of the State Working Committee. And as a fact, they went further to the court to stopping him. And the wranglings continued. And they were accused vigorously. That leadership was accused vigorously that they supported the PDP Vice President Atiku Abubakar's election. And because they did so, the national leadership of the party dissolved that State Working Committee, and they have that power, and instituted a caretaker committee. And then you're also aware that there are plethora of decisions by the Supreme Court as to the lack of a high court or court of appeals position in meddling into the internal affairs of the party. And therefore, if a state high court in Rivers State went ahead to sit on appeal on a Supreme Court decision, that is an aberration. We're not in a banana republic. Laws are made by institutions, and in this case, the highest institution in the land, which is the Supreme Court, has taken a position that internal affairs of political parties cannot be meddled into by any high court or court of appeal for that matter. So that's a trite law. And then to say that the Emeka Beke and his team had said that they will participate, on what basis are they participating? The carpet has been pulled off their feet. But let me let you know that we are not surprised because they have become appendages of the state government. The state government is bankrolling them. The state government
but that same allegation is being made.
Judgment.
That same allegation is made towards yourself and the CTC chairman of your party that you've been bankrolled and you're working in connivance with the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, whom seem to be, for many reasons, many have said, having a very good relationship with the CTC chairman of your party, and hence the suspicion of him bankrolling your section of the party to hoodwink the current administration in Rivers State.
Okay, talk is cheap. We have a precedent. APC in Nigeria controls Federal Republic of Nigeria. We have President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who bankrolls, who funds, who leads the party called APC. So if you claim that you are what does the president
of Nigeria fund the APC with?
When I say fund, organizes, leads, because he's the leader of the party. Whatever contributions that are made from the party and decisions are reached from the NEC to the National Working Committee before they are cascaded into the state. It is the leader of the party that directs how it is done.
All right, and that's a clarification we want to make. You said fund. I mean, we all know what fund means. You said bankroll. We all know what that means. So the question is how the president of the country funds the party.
I said the president is the leader of the party. The president is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Whatever decisions that are taken by him, by the National Executive Committee, by the National Working Committee, and then down to the State Working Committee, down to the State Executive, down to the local government. He is at the apex. So everything that is done in the party, he is in charge of it, and he takes responsibility.
All right.
So that being the case, I'm saying that Chief Emeka Beke and his team cannot claim that they are members of even the APC as we speak, because they cannot come publicly to oppose decisions of the national leadership of the party. And it is on the basis of that, we know clearly that even the court judgment they claim they have, which sits on appeal on a decision of the Supreme Court, is given to them through the instrumentality
Mr.
of the support of the Rivers State government.
Just to take us back a little bit. What you've said about the president being in charge and deciding what the affairs of the party and being in the know and leading the party, I mean, you said from the federal level up until the grassroots in the APC, the president is in charge. If that's the case, is it safe to say that the president was right when he welcomed Martin Amenwole and 27 others at the time where they had issues at the State Assembly and were in Abuja, and that agreement was being drafted to reconcile the FCT minister and the governor of Rivers State? And when the question was raised about lawmakers who had defected to the APC, he said they are his children, he cannot send them back. And then we all saw what happened at the Polo Club. Are we saying now, from what you've said, would it be right to say that the president was in the know and confirmed the movement of the lawmakers to the APC based off of what you said the president's role in the party is?
Let me clarify what you're saying. Firstly, the meeting the president called, wherein the presidential proclamation for peace was made public. The governor of Rivers State was there, and that meeting was not to reconcile the governor of Rivers State and the FCT minister. It was a meeting to reconcile the belligerents, the Rivers State House Assembly, the legislature under Martin Amenwole, and the governor who is leading the executive.
Was that what it was?
So that was what the meeting was. I was there, present.
So what were the demands in the meeting?
You have the presidential proclamation for peace. You have it. It's in the public domain. So you don't need further explanations from me. You have them.
And that's why I'm asking. From what you said the president is in the APC, when I asked you the question about Chief Emeka Beke, and you had said the president is all in that party and leader, and every decision taken and whatever is being done, he knows. We are aware that during that particular meeting, one issue was raised because at the time there had been videos on social media and videos and pictures of the speaker at the time, Martin Amenwole, on the floor of the House, reading letters of resignation from members of the House. Afterwards, we saw the chanting and all of that followed. And then later on, we also saw what happened at the Polo Club with Chief Tony Okocha and all the comments that were made, including comments specifically welcoming those lawmakers into the fold of the APC. And at that meeting, the president said, because it was raised, what then happens to these lawmakers if we're trying to ensure that we restore everything to where it was? Should they then return to the PDP? And I believe you would agree with me that the president's comment was that they are his children and he cannot reject them if they have come to him. So the question again is, based off of your role you said the president plays in the APC, did he know and did he okay all of what had happened leading up until the moment where those lawmakers publicly on the floor of the House said that they were now going to join the APC, citing division within the PDP?
Okay, if you allow me to explain the foundation of all this, I think we'll make some progress. Firstly, Rivers State House Assembly members, Martin Amenwole leadership, and his members are not members of the APC. They did not defect to the APC. Albeit, they signaled interest that they love the policies and programs of the APC. They are in support of the president. They have never hidden that. That is in the public domain as well. So the meeting, the Thanksgiving service we had at Polo Club was to thank God for the institution of the caretaker committee, wherein top government officials were invited, including but not limited to the House of Assembly members, commissioners, and other
who were members of another political party.
Hold on, let me finish. So that being the case, whenever attempts are made to say that we held a rally to receive House of Assembly, it's pure fallacy, lies from the pit of hell. I can tell you that I was there. That occasion at Polo Club was for the purposes of thanking God, but we invited people across board. to come to rejoice with us because we have started rebuilding our party.
So at no
and
time,
these members, like I said, have said they are in love with the policies and programs of the APC. And mind you, the leader of the PDP and leader of Rivers State, Chibike, who was governor of Rivers State, is working with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and is performing spectacularly. So these are people whom he had groomed over that time. So what do you expect? You expect them to work against the federal government where the leader is working with the president? Is that what we need? So these things must be put together. You must tie them together to be able to
I need
know
to ask one question. So let's stamp two things you've mentioned. One, you have said that the Martin Amewule lawmakers at no time said that they were defecting to the APC. That's one. And second, you've said that the event that was held at the Polo Club was a Thanksgiving and everybody was invited. Now, the question I want to ask with that, so you clarify, is was there any time in that campaign or at that Thanksgiving, I beg your pardon, that as you call it, is there any time where the CTC chairman of the party at the time, in his speech or remarks, welcomed those lawmakers of the PDP who were present at the Thanksgiving?
He welcomed them to the program of the APC for the Thanksgiving.
Oh, not to the party.
Not to the party.
So can you remember exactly? Can you remember exactly what he said?
I also spoke that day, so I cannot remember line by line what he said. But I know that this is a foundation upon the basis that statement was made.
All right.
He welcomed, especially the House of Assembly
members. Hold the thoughts. After the commercial. 8 is what the time is, and my guest is the Publicity Secretary of the Rivers APC Caretaker Committee, Chibike Ikenga. Sir, thank you for staying on the line for us. I hope we still, I think we'll have to try and get him back on the line, unfortunately. Okay, so we'll just try and re-establish contact and have him on the line for us. But to you who's listening, I'm sure you have plenty of questions you'd want to ask and contributions to make. Mr. Ikenga, thank you for staying with us. Hello, Mr. Ikenga, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm on. Yeah, I can.
All right, thank you. All right, so before we go on, a few clips I would like to play for you and I want you to listen to address some of the issues that have been raised before we get on to some comments on Facebook and the phone lines, take a few calls. First, I'd like to read out what was said by the Chief Tony Okocha, the CTC chairman of your party, at that particular event. And prior to that time, we remember when the issue, there was a call by the APC to resurrect the impeachment proceedings. And vividly remember the CTC chairman of your party saying he was going to get the lawmakers, referring to the 27 lawmakers who, according to the context of his conversation, were now members of the APC, to look into the activities of the government, and if there was anything that they felt would or should be an impeachable offense, then they would have to look into it. Otherwise, the party would also have to discipline them. Paraphrasing the context of what he was trying to say at the time. But at that particular event, this was what was said. I'm going to read what he said word for word. You can find it on channels if you want to look at it. It said, how many days ago we were told that they had pulled down the assembly as early as 7 a.m. They pulled down the assembly, but let's say this clearly. Assembly does not interfere, it does not infer a structure. Assembly is not a building. Assembly is the human beings who are members of the assembly. So our assembly members who have defected to us, 27 of them, as the emphasis, are free to meet anywhere as far as the symbol of authority, the maize, is there. So when he said our assembly members who have defected to us, 27 of them, who was he referring to and who were the us he was referring to? That's one. On the other part, I'd like you to listen to this. This was the lawmaker from person of Martin Ameule. I can't play all of it. I just tried to get parts of it on the floor of the House where he was referring to letters. I'd like you to listen.
Distinguished colleagues, these letters were personally written by 27 members individually and sent to me in line with Section 101 of the 1999 Constitution as authored. Distinguished colleagues, I'll begin by reading the letter written by the Right Honorable Barrister Binde Mao, the Deputy Speaker of this House. It reads, the Right Honorable Martin Chika Mewule, DSSRS, Speaker, Rivers State Assembly, Moscow, Port Mr. Speaker, defection to the All Progressive Congress, APC. I write to bring to your attention my decision to leave the People's Democratic Party, PDP. This decision to leave the PDP is necessitated by the division in the People's Democratic Party, of which I was elected to this House. In particular, the tussle around who the National Secretary of the PDP is has now sharply divided the party and made it unclear as to who is the National Secretary of the party, thereby making it difficult for me to chart an appropriate communication channel. There are currently different court processes, as well as others, making it impossible to identify who the authentic National Secretary of the party is. Details of these orders of courts can be found in suit number FCT/HC/M/015/23, suit number FHC/ABJ/CS/1580/2023, and suit number E/882/2023. There's also a matter at the Federal High Court in Lagos in the same subject. The situation has made it imperative that I effect to the All Progressive Congress, APC. Therefore, I seek your indulgence in this regard, as to do the needful and recognize me now as a member of the APC, and do accept the assurance of my esteemed regards.
All right. So because of the time, I can't play the whole length of it. Like I said, we took parts of it. There were 27 lawmakers he had mentioned from the beginning. We wrote the letters and he was reading the first one. Afterwards, we then saw what followed after all were looked. And I think he asked questions on the floor of the House on whether the reasons he had given constitutionally, these are the clear reasons backed by the Constitution for why a person should leave a party, and if the House saw anything wrong with the reasons he had given. And afterwards, we also then, members of the House, then, with the flags and had pictures and all of that stuff that followed afterwards. Like I said, we don't have all the time to play all the details, but just wanted to put that out there for my guests to respond to. And that's on one side. On the other side, we'll try and get my guest back on the line so that we get his response. All right, Mr. Ikenga, I'm sure you heard that was Martin Amaewhule speaking as Speaker of the House in that capacity at the time, accepting the letters that was written by the 27 lawmakers and reading same on the floor of the House, citing the reasons why they're joining the APC. So there is also the talks about the affidavit sworn in court by those lawmakers saying that they are members of the APC. So how would you respond to these?
Okay, let me respond first. Let me respond quickly from the last. Firstly, before the phone went off, at least I had the voice that appeared to me to be the voice of the... Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's not appeared to. That's a video I played for you. It's not just a voice.
Sorry. Just allow me to use... I said a voice that appeared to be that of Martin Amaewhule. I didn't see the video.
But I'm telling you because that's what we're playing from our studio.
I said it's the audio. It's the audio I'm hearing. I have admitted that it seems like the voice of Martin Amaewhule.
It is, not seems. Nigeria Info would not. I need to clarify because you'll be making the brand look like we are putting up. It's a video we played for you here, and it's online if you want to get it. If you want the link, I can send it to you as well, so you watch it yourself and you see it.
On your station.
No, I needed to clear that so you don't give people the wrong impression that we're playing something that we're not verified.
I did not see the video. I had a voice that clearly signaled it's like Martin Amaewhule. And I want to speak on that.
All right.
Now, I want to agree reasonably that those statements were made by Martin Amaewhule, the Right Honorable Speaker of the Rivers House of Assembly. But you don't join political parties through press conferences. You don't join political parties through declarations. Political parties are joined, firstly, as you go to your ward, you register with your ward chairman. If you were in another party prior to going to join a new party, you resign your membership of that party and make it public through your letter. And the letter must be seen to be public before coming to join a new party, wherein you are registered and issued membership card. And I know that no step was taken further after the indication of interest and the love for the policies and programs of the APC. The members of the Rivers House of Assembly under the leadership of Right Honorable Martin Amaewhule did not take further steps to consummating their membership of APC.
But Mr. Ikenga, now you agree. You agree that these statements were made because earlier you had said nothing of such was said.
Sorry, sir. This matter had appeared before those who will adjudicate when there are disagreements, and decisions have been reached by courts that they have not left peace.
All right.
On the issue of Tony, the chairman of the APC, and the reception we had for the caretaker committee, I'd like you, we don't mislead the audience, put side by side comments the chairman of the caretaker committee made when you said he asked that these people have become members of the party, and the comment the ousted chairman made. And today, the comments of the chairman and tomorrow and today too, the comment of the
my
former chairman.
my
So we put them
question
side
to
by side
you,
so that you
Mr.
know.
Ikenga, is the
Yes.
comments of the CTC chairman at that event. I just read out to you what he said word for word. If you want the link as well, you can go online and get it, because it was covered by several media houses, and this was from Channels Television, so you can go there and get it. And he said, so our assembly members that have defected to us, 27 of them, are free to meet anywhere as far as the symbol of authority, the maize, is there. My question is, did he say this or not at that event?
Well, I cannot properly state all that was said that day, but I know that he welcomed them to that occasion, thanking them for being there.
All right. We'll take a few phone calls now. And then there's also one more thing you've not responded to, which was the affidavits that the lawmakers had sworn in court, filing those affidavits in court saying that they are members of the APC. That has also come up and saying, well, you can't lie under oath. If they are, then why would they say they're members of the APC in court? And then saying that they never left the PDP to the APC, that's also an offense punishable under the law. Well, that's also something perhaps that we will get your response to. Let's first get to the phone lines and get the questions and reactions of those who are listening. 0817 923 0007. 0817 923 0003. Again, 0817 923 0003. 0817 923 0007. Any of these numbers, let's try to keep it short, simple, and straight to the point. Remember to be very civil and mind the choice of words and language that you use once you get on the line. Mufasa from NTA Road, will start with you. Good morning. Hello, Mufasa. Okay, we'll move on to your next call. I think we lost the call from Mufasa. While we wait on the calls, let's take some of the questions and messages on Facebook. We have quite a number of them, I'm sure. Thank God Ability, we'll start with you. And he says here, for now, Emeka Beke is the authentic chairman of the APC in Rivers State until the court says otherwise. On the issue of Martin Amewule and his group, true, they defected to APC and were received by Tony Okocha at the Polo Club. Smart in We Day Good says, how on earth would people lie like this? For me, the CTC Publicity Secretary is not speaking the truth. Come to the reality and accept defeat. Jaja says Ikenga is trying hard to bend the facts. They are gone, and that's it. And they will continue to remain that way. It was a mistake that was made, and that is it. Clever Sonny says the man in your studio is not telling himself the truth, because if the president had welcomed them into the APC, who is he to say no? 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. Just tell us your name, where you're calling from, and let's go. Hello, Nigerian, for good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, I think we're having slight issues with the phone lines. I really can't tell what the problem is. 0817-923-0007. 0817-923-0003. On WhatsApp, before Ernest says, all right, Martin Amewule and 27 others are defected to the APC. Their affidavit is pending before Justice Okorowo Court. They will remain floating till 2027. And before Ernest from Anelga. Someone says, greetings. Please tell the 27, what's that? 27 lawmakers to go and identify with Chief Emeka Beke. Chief Emeka Beke had said they are all stakeholders of the APC, and so they should come and build the party together. Ikiroma Owiye Michael from Tombia sent that one in. Another person here says, good morning. Firstly, it's very unfortunate that we've got people like your guest in a position of power of any sort. He's not being honest. I want to ask, 27 lawmakers a question, are they still being paid? And if so, who's funding them as lawmakers? From the initials of this crisis in Rivers State House of Assembly, thank God. Thank you. Emmanuel from Uzwoba, I think, yes, Uzwoba sent in that message. Another person here says, Violet Spurgeon, where is integrity? Because of politics, men who were voted for to represent their interests of the people, these men don't have integrity. Martin Ameule and others should hide their faces. The whole world saw them defect, and they were received by Tony Okocha. Lady V, that's from you. Like I said, we're having slight issues with the phone lines. I think they're working on it. Hopefully it's sorted out quickly so we can hear your thoughts. So if you've been trying to get to us and we're not taking the calls here in the studio, it's simply because there are certain issues with the phone lines at the moment. 0817-923-0007 and 0817-923-0003. The numbers to call to participate on the show this morning. Akanto from Bori, good morning.
Andrew, good morning.
All right, Akanto, go ahead. Fantastic, go on.
Andrew, thank you very much for having the documentary before Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info had been rated as one of the super radio stations in this side of the world because of uprightness, objectivity, fairness, and accuracy. So kudos to Nigeria Info for bringing this fact before Ikenga, my friend. You see, that is why some of us, when we came up to begin to talk anyway, leader would say, oh, stay, you are not, you are a young person, you are telling lies. When the leaders begin to faction lies, fabricated lies to the younger ones, it became obscene to us. So for me, it was very before the public, my presenter, that these people defected. 27 of them defected on the Hello Chamber, even an occasion, even an affidavit of the court. But what is saving them? Why are they talking? Because somebody masquerading himself as a demigod that can alleging to be using the court against the will of the people. Let me tell you, it's only a matter of time. These people have defected. In fact, it affected me, my constituency, one of Ghana House of Assembly. The woman defected and the Hello in the occasion. I also sworn to an affidavit in the court that she has defected the All Progressive Party. Rivers will move forward. These people have never been.
All right, let's go to Ishokbo. James, sorry I can't, but we have to move on to another caller. We don't have all the time, unfortunately. James from Ishokbo, good morning. Hello, James. All right, unfortunately, today hasn't been a very good day with the service providers. I'll just ask that you bear with us. The situation is being worked on. In the meantime, we'll go back to some more messages, and we have several of them. Michael Oyigbo-Baye says, Rivers State is indeed a movie. The same Tony Okocha would threaten 5 months ago to sanction the embattled lawmakers in line with relevant sections of their party constitution if they failed to impeach the governor, as he's now saying that they never defected to the APC. On what basis was he going to invoke the APC constitution on Ameule and the others? If not, okay, someone needs to preach repentance. That's all I can say. Say good morning. Jaja Maxwell says, good morning, please tell your guests that nothing can save those men. They should go and rest. We need peace politically in the state. Adaya says, will it be proper for me to say the different lawmakers are not... okay, we're not getting this correctly, unfortunately. Kelvin Frank says, Tony Okocha... All right, we don't have all the time, unfortunately. But Mr. Ikenga, let's quickly come back to you and get your response as we attempt to wrap up. The local government election is just a couple of about a week and a few days away. From all that we have said, where do we see anything changing?
Okay, firstly, you talked about the affidavit that you needed me to respond to.
Yes.
Yeah. What I would say is that is before the court. It is not my responsibility to interpret as to whether an affidavit was sworn in or not, and as to whether they have defected or not defected to any party before the court in question. But the issue here is that all through you have made your statements here, and those who called, nobody made reference to the judgment of Justice Lifu, which happened 2-3 days back.
That was how I started the show, Mr. Ikenga. If you had listened, I started the show first by referring to that judgment and the position of Martin Amaewhule, what he said after that judgment was given, and his interview where he said whatever is happening in Rivers State with regards to which political parties the lawmakers, including himself, belong to is something masterminded by the Rivers State governor. He said that as well and said at no time did they defect to any political party. That was how I started the show.
Okay, that's fine. If you recall, I told you I wasn't hearing you when we started.
Okay.
So it could have been at that time. Yeah, that's fine.
I understand.
I will take further reference to that. So that's the position. And then let me say something clearly here. Now, one of the callers did say that the court has decided that Emeka Bekee is chairman and that nothing anybody will do, they must obey the court judgment. Now, on the other hand, he said no. The Martin Amaewhule and his team, they have to leave, because there is also a court judgment which says that they are members of the... So you can see how interest, of course, is the issue here. But let me say something. You know, what we are doing is contestation for power. And then you know that power is the control of minds and actions of other men. You know, from Hans Magenthal. Let me say something. This local government election, we have stated clearly, it is on a wrong footing.
You have 15 seconds left. You have 15 seconds left.
Yes, I said it's on a wrong footing. There's a court judgment. There's a court interim order stopping the election. And those who claim that they must obey court orders, you continue to obey such orders, rules, pronouncements, and judgments. But the decisions of the Supreme Court is most relevant in this case. So we advise all to stay calm until when decisions are reached at the
Thank you, Mr. Ikenga.
And then we'll take decisions.
But that's how we wrap it. Thank you for joining us. We'll keep in touch and follow up on any developments. Good morning again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Ifeemi Andre. Commercial is next, and Hello Port Harcourt with Jude follows afterwards. Stay on the line. Democracy.